Hey guys, this is John Scarborough. This is take 3 now. I've got to figure out what in the world makes my phone. Well, I know what it is. It's just this phone. Something about these phones. If anybody knows what makes an iPhone cut off when you're right in the middle of a video, and then or make it where you can go back to that video. Because every time I'm making a video, if somebody calls me, it messes up. So then if I hang up on them trying to get back to my video and trying to get back to my thoughts, then they'll try to call back again, and it just turns into a mess. So I did just now put my phone on airplane mode, keep anybody from calling me while I'm trying to make a video. But there's got to be a way. If there's not, then that's a flaw with iPhone, in my opinion. But anyway, so like I said, take 3. If anybody knows how to avoid that, or even to start replaying, like pause your video and then replay it on an iPhone, give me some ideas in the comments if y'all know anything about it. I'd appreciate it. Anyway guys, I wanted to do an update on this Bermuda grass that I talked about in a previous couple of videos there. If y'all only saw one of them and you weren't able to see the other one is posted now. That was the same problem. Someone called me, cut right in the middle of the video, so I just continued on and put 2 videos on. And where we're at right now, my phone is having trouble as well posting videos very fast, so it doesn't post 2 in a day. I mean, it literally takes all day to post the 1, just because we're just building this place over here. It's just kind of it's taking time to get everything right. I think we're gonna have to get a booster there for sure, just to get it all right. So anyway, so if y'all didn't see the second one is there. Go ahead and look at that, and you can hear the rest of that. Yeah, you can just type in the same title as the first one, and you'll see it. And I put it in the description. If ever you can't find it when I make a video like that, go just keep an eye on the video if that ever happens, and go back down to the description. You should see it there. If it's not, just wait for it, and it will come back. And I do appreciate y'all's patience. I'm trying to figure this out with this. I'm not a very experienced cameraman. But anyway, I wanted to do an update on this. We do have the cows in here now, and we did wait until January the 20th to put them on here. We actually put the bull on the cows January the 15th. It just worked out that way. 15 extra days isn't going to hurt at all. In fact, it just pushes them a little bit farther from that summer heat, so it's not affecting us in any way. It's not bad. But we are definitely far enough along now that we should definitely know if this grass has got any valuable take at all. I will say it does. I've seen in certain places, because like I mentioned in the last video, this is a mix of different Bermudas, and I'm still learning about Bermuda grass, but this is a mix of it. So there are places with certain types of Bermuda where you can see the line where it looks like the rot has started is faster on one side than on the other. And some of it doesn't look bad at all, but you can definitely tell in here where the bulls have grazed quite a bit. And I just want to say that the bulls never started looking down at all. Now, to be fair, and as you can tell, the cows are grazing, eating some hay I put over there. But as you can tell, or what I mean is I had put a bailout one bailout eventually for the bulls, because it got extremely cold. Well, extremely cold for us here. It got down to 22. So y'all northerners, don't laugh at me. Here, that is very cold, and it's a shock for our animals. The main thing is the humidity, because it only gets down to 22 for a little while. Once it starts to come back up, the humidity comes back, because up in those colder states, the weather stays cold enough long enough that it actually freezes the humidity off. But here we rarely see the humidity freeze off, so we don't get that dry cold. So it's actually very hard to deal with. I actually have a brother that just moved from Missouri. I'm sure a lot of y'all, if you're watching my videos, you've seen Greg Judy's videos. If you haven't, you need to go check him out. He's got a very good channel. He knows a lot about cattle and grass operation, period. But anyway, go check that out. But the point is my brother just moved from the same area that Greg Judy lives in. and he was telling me that it's so much colder up there. The climate's just completely different up there. But down here, the humidity is more of a battle than he had realized. You know, so that humidity, definitely, that wet cold definitely is, it's just something different. It's not necessarily bad in any way. I know a lot of y'all have seen me wear t-shirts, certainly not wearing a t-shirt today, but a lot of y'all have seen me wear t-shirts in the wintertime, and yes, that is an advantage. We do get quite a few of those days, but with those days, that also thaws the ground completely out, that thaws everything completely out. So then when you suddenly get a drop down to 22 degrees, then the humidity never freezes off. So you're still getting that really bitter, biting cold, but it's extremely, you know, so it feels worse. Not necessarily that it is worse, but the point is that it can be hard on the cattle. So I went ahead and put out a bale for them. When it's real cold like that, I like to do that. So that's to be fair that they have had some hay while they're in here. But my point being that you can tell that they've eaten quite a bit here, because this is eaten all the way down to the green, where the green's starting to come back up. And then if I look up, point over in that area, or look around, you can tell there's patches that haven't been grazed. So the point is they've done quite a bit of grazing in here. If I just kind of scale around, you can tell the green, that's the lower portion where the winter grass is actually starting to come up. And where it's solid brown, that's where it's still a lot higher. But anyway, it is looking good. I just put the cows in here. We actually ran them around the property a little bit, let them kind of move and get some more of that green grass before we put them back in here. And then I did give them hay. If I hadn't just put my bulls on, or my bull on, excuse me, then I would try not giving them hay, and I would put them in here and just see if they would eat this. That would be the best experience. Experiment is what I mean to say. It would be the best possible experiment, because it would just give me a chance to see, you know, first of all, are they consuming it, and is it enough for them, or do I have to give them hay? But in this case, I don't have a choice but to give them hay, because we just put the bull on, and you don't want them to have any stress. You want them, everything to be as good as possible when you're breeding back, you know, when you put your bull on. So, you know, because you want to try to, if it, you know, I've only got 12 cows, it would be nice to see all of them get bred in their first cycle, you know, because I am trying to run a business. I'm trying to make an income, and actually trying to make money at it. So you have to draw a line there. You know, a lot of people are seeing a lot of these videos where people are doing mob grazing, me included, and they're experimenting with all sorts of different ways to save money and to do things with your cattle and stuff, and that's wonderful. You know, stay at it, keep trying those things, but at the same time, you have to understand that you are still running a business, and you do still have to make a living. Okay, so do what works for you without putting too much stress or pressure on it. You want to be real careful about not putting too much stress on your animals either. So just be careful, play with it cautiously. Okay, with that being said, with these bales here, if they still continue to eat this, and we'll know for a fact that they're seeing something good out of it. So that's the ultimate test, is to see if they'll graze while, now of course they will graze that green that's in there. There's even clover down underneath there. So if we see them start to graze a lot while the hay's there, then we know for a fact that there's something good there. But even with that being said, even if there wasn't hay, I mean, cows are going to be kind of like people. I mean, every creature is going to do what's easy. Okay, well, that's a big pile of food sitting right in front of them. That's easy. It's just like if you were given the option to, you're starving, you're literally starving, and you're given the option to go either hunt a deer and then skin that deer and prepare that deer and then cook that deer and then eat that deer, whereas you could go straight to the refrigerator and pull out something delicious. You're probably going to choose that, especially if you're hungry. So anyway, that's the point, is a lot of things, all creatures do what's easy for them. Here's one of my older mamas. She's walking by. She's not too bad for an older mama. and she just had twins. That was that one that had twins. So I think she looks pretty good for being in the wintertime and having twins and doing quite well with it. So anyway, as you can tell, they're starting to kind of break out and look around. But anyway, guys, I want to keep y'all updated on this and just see, because I am excited to see just how well this works. Because honestly, January 15th is, or January 20th is much farther than I ever expected to go with grazable grass, okay, with actual stockpile forage. In my mind, what I figured it would be about the middle of December, maybe up to January, in the right conditions when you'd have grazable grass. So I really don't know. I truly do not know how this is going to work. I don't know what their thoughts, you know, the cattle, I don't know how they're going to react to it, you know. So I hope that y'all follow along and just kind of help me watch and see, and this is just kind of an experiment for me. I mean, there's definitely places in here where I just don't think that is going to be all that valuable to them. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be, when they get a bite of both, that's going to act as good roughage one way or the other. But I am curious to see if this stuff right here, some more of this brown up in here, where it's dry, I'm curious to see if that will give them anything, will provide anything for them at all, because it's going to be basically like hay that's been left out in the rain. Okay, so I'm curious, very curious to see it. And really what sparked my interest in all of this, there's a guy that lives not too far down the road from me. I think he's like 75. Anyway, he's been raising cattle for a little while, and he actually did a test himself on Bermuda grass to see what the protein was after, I think it was pretty late in the winter. It may have even been close to this time of year. It was several years back that he did it, but anyway, and he was very interested to find that the protein level was much higher in this than anything else he had seen. He didn't really care about doing anything winter stockpile. It was just a curiosity thing for him. But we had kind of touched on briefly on the idea of it, and he was saying that he thought it might have been high enough to at least be a good aid. So anyway, guys, I'm not trying to continue to ramble on, just trying to show you all this update, but you can definitely tell here, okay? I want you to look right there and right there. Okay, these were both some type of Bermuda, okay? But as you saw, if you looked in the back there, you could tell that there was, when it was low like that, it was green underneath. That's where the cattle had grazed it down, those bulls, okay? Well, that one bull and then those other two bull calves had grazed it down. But here, it's lower. You can obviously tell it's lower, but it's because it's laying down. These are two different types of Bermudas, okay? Two different types of grasses. In fact, some of these look like Bahia, but I have seen some places where it was Bermuda for sure. So you can tell the difference in it. This just couldn't handle it. It's already laid down. It's decomposing. You know, it will make a good litter bank for the soil, but it's not going to make anything valuable worth eating. Perhaps somewhat of a decent forage, but I doubt the cattle would ever even touch it outside of rustling underneath it. Okay, but you can see the line there. Okay, you can see the difference. There's definitely something more valuable here than there is there, at least as a roughage. So we'll see. I am definitely curious. There's quite a bit here on this half that the bulls never really touched. So I am excited and I cannot wait, guys. So I'm just gonna see, like I said, if this doesn't work, then it's kind of the end on whether or not we can do any type of stockpiling. The end of my knowledge is what I'm trying to say. So outside of that one sage grass that I had mentioned, that I still wouldn't mind trying to do some seeding on, this is about as far as I know to go on my testing, on seeing, you know, what I can do. There's only so much you can do when the state of Louisiana has already declared that it's impossible. You know, the universities here have already said that it's not possible, and that the testing has been done extensively. But I still remain excited because I have already gone farther than most said that I could. So definitely think that's worth something. So anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all listening to me ramble on as always. Hope that y'all do enjoy these videos. If you don't enjoy them, just be nice and don't watch them. But if you do enjoy them, then definitely give me a thumbs up. And if you can share it, go ahead and share it with your friends and anybody that might enjoy it. Definitely give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. If you watch my videos very often, I would appreciate you subscribing and liking, because that really does help with my channel, because that's kind of the way I'm trying to advertise my business, guys, is through this. So basically I'm trying to give as much information, just the information that I do have, trying to give it freely, but I'm hoping to get advertisement and momentum through that. So the way that y'all could help me with that is just by liking and subscribing. That helps hugely and advertises everything. And if you can share it on Facebook or anything like that, then that would be wonderful as well. So guys, I'm gonna let y'all have that. I'm gonna go ahead and share this. So far, seems like take 3 has been successful. And if anybody has any information at all on using your camera on your iPhone without it cutting off, then I would truly appreciate it. Thanks.